Hello everyone. Students, welcome to the iExamB. Today we have special guest, or we can say our mentor, our teacher, Emmanuel sir with us. Sir is having a diverse experience of, we can say, the banking as well as the RBI, NABARD, and presently serving as an investment director at the Caspian Fund. So, apart from that, sir has, you know, uh, uh, done so many things in his life. So, we will get the insight related to that also, and most important, which is related to our topic, that is the NABARD and the preparation related to the NABARD. We'll be discussing more about this particular topic. And a few days back, we shared with you all about the your queries related to the NABARD, which you can ask from the sir. So we have around sufficient number of questions. So we will ask those questions also in the end of the session. Okay, so first of all, sir, welcome to this particular session, and we are very grateful that you have given time to us and to discuss the questions related to the future of students.
Thank you very much, Kailash ji. It's always a pleasure to speak to the next generation of young people who are going to uh, run these organizations which we exited out of, and to let them know, because a lot of history of the organization is lost along with us. So it's good to refresh, recollect, connect with, why do we do something? What do we do? How did this project come into existence? These kind of things may not be available on record,
Yes, sir.
but these are
Exactly.
memories that are relevant and it's useful to share.
And so still you are doing a lot of things, so I think you are not exited.
Yeah, that is true. I am a pensioner of NABARD, and I'm a director on NAPKISAN, which is a
Nepkisan,
subsidiary
yes, sir.
of NABARD. Yeah.
So, and sir, while in the NABARD and even in the RBI, you served as a faculty member there.
Hmm.
So I think so. There is a teacher within you. So
Yeah. So that was a very, it's a story by itself. Uh, I I was very shy to do any public speaking.
oh,
And so I requested that please excuse me, don't make me faculty. Then of course, NABARD was gracious enough. They said, if 6 months you try out, if it doesn't work, we'll post you back into the regional office. And luck, whatever, the people who I trained, enjoyed, and I also fell in love with this whole process of training, and it became another second career for me. And I spent quite a bit of time in the teaching side.
yes. Even in the RBI, sir, I think you were the faculty member there in the RBI.
Yeah, yeah. So I was first faculty at NABARD Staff College, which is in
Hmm.
Lucknow, and
Okay.
then in Reserve Bank's College of Agricultural Banking, Pune, they wanted
Pune.
a faculty member who's already trained.
Okay.
And because the faculty member there was required to go to head office to become the executive assistant to the chairman of that time, Mr. Thorat. So I was deputed to RBI, and that to a very large extent changed the course of my life also, because RBI is a very good host organization. So we were
Yes.
never discriminated. We got a lot of opportunities. Some of the best CGMs we worked with, Mr. Sandeep Ghosh and Mr. HR Khan, these were all exceptionally good people under whom we had opportunity to work.
Okay. So, sir, as you said in the beginning that you were very shy at that time. So, I think now, thousands of people and students are taking motivation from you, even from your LinkedIn profile. Also, I think that is very giving very
Yeah,
insight
so
related to so many things.
the key to that is writing original work. So if you see what I post on LinkedIn, a large amount of it is original, not
Yes, sir.
reposting from somewhere. Second is to write on subjects which otherwise nobody writes about. So
Yes, sir.
either they are controversial So why get into that? Otherwise, people don't know too much about it. What we read in the newspaper and all is second-hand information. So
Hmm.
somebody who writes first-hand has its own authenticity, and that is why you will find a lot of my writings are original. Even the research work that I
Yes,
have
sir.
put out is original, and no one else has worked in those spaces.
Yes, sir. I think in the past I was searching something related to the watershed and the rural development. So I got your research paper in the research gate.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so watershed, I have done not much of work. On the other side, rural, yeah, microfinance and other rural
microfinance, yes,
credit,
rural credit.
lots of work has been done. At least about 25 to 30 students have worked under me on various projects.
So that is, I think, sir, very, as I said in the beginning, you have a very great, diverse kind of work you are doing. You did also. So, sir, as you have the vast experience in the NABARD as well as in the RBI, so, sir, what you say about the NABARD as a career for the students who are preparing present in the present?
Uh, Let me first congratulate all the
Yes, sir.
uh, people who have passed the main examination and preparing for the interview. You have made a very good choice. NABARD is one of the best employers in the country, and you will never regret having joined NABARD. It takes very good care of its employees. That much is assured. What you do with your career is, of course, your choice. So some may shine, some may just spend their time over there, some may find it frustrating. So it all depends on how you align with the organization goals. From the time that I served in NABARD, the mandate of NABARD has expanded a lot. It does much, much more than what it used to do in our time. It implements a lot of government programs. It works with the social sector in a very large way. It works in financial inclusion. It is into rural credit, cooperative banks, commercial banks, under the refinance and other facilities that are there. It works in other spaces like climate change,
Yes, sir. In the developmental
natural
aspect.
resource management and other development. So the diversity of the work that is there, rarely you will find in other organizations.
Yes, sir.
So in your lifetime, you will never get bored because you'll be transiting through various uh, departments and functional areas. And certainly it will be a enjoyable journey for somebody who wants to work in the government or the public sector.
Yes, sir. This is true because a few days back I was reading an article of someone from the NABARD only related to the COP28 UNFCCC recent meeting related to the climate change. So,
Hmm.
and NABARD already mentioned that thing in the website under the developmental part, the climate change and managing the UNFCCC and NAFCCC. So this is the great thing. So, as you already mentioned, sir, related to the present recruitment of the student already cleared the phase two examination, they all are preparing for the interview. So, because you have already served and you have seen and you have trained so many students for their interview, so what you want to suggest how to prepare for their interview?
Yeah, so unlike other interviews, there is a defined scope within which this interview happens. So, agriculture, rural credit, microfinance, Indian economy. So, the subjects are not too many,
Hmm.
and therefore, you have to develop quite in-depth knowledge on these topics. So, in terms of both current data on Indian economy or agriculture or poverty all these subjects, develop in-depth knowledge, up-to-date data,
Hmm.
and clarity is another thing. Just to read and learn by heart doesn't work.
Hmm.
So if you see some scheme or anything, why is it there? What is it, and what are the expected outcomes of it? So more than just learning by heart. It
Hmm.
should not be a typical reproduce an answer which is like a machine. So typically students kind of take a guidebook and learn by heart. So that is not. The second is to have an opinion.
Yes.
So on any subject, you should be able to have your own views on it also, not just to state facts about it. Uh, So let's say poverty in India.
Hmm.
Then what is your views about it? How to tackle poverty? Why? So these kind of things. Or let us say agricultural production, or even farmer distress. Some of these very complex subjects, you may have numbers, how many small farmers are there, what is the production in
Hmm.
of rice and wheat. Those data are important, but you should not give wrong data,
Yes.
but you should be
Exactly.
able to give some analytical answers. So for somebody who's sitting on the interview panel, your answer should stand out, because I was also in interview panel. So over a day, we will be interviewing 15, 20 people.
15 to 20.
And if you get the same routine answers, it doesn't even register. After you leave the room, we won't remember your name.
Yes,
But
sir.
if somebody gives an answer which is different from the others to a question which is the same, question
Hmm.
is still the same, that remains with you. You don't forget that, and you make sure that person has given extra marks. So being well prepared, being calm, and being analytical. These are the three key points. It is always possible that you do not know everything.
Yes, sir.
So
Exactly.
please give something that you don't know much about a pass. If you try to do some guesswork and give a wrong answer, typically the interview members will ask supplementary questions on that subject, and then you will be in a fix. So it
Yes.
is best not to get into something which you don't know too much about. Let them, okay, say, yeah, you don't know this, let's move to something else, sort of. That is the way to deal with it. Coolness, confidence, good sleep the day before you appear for the interview, very important. Uh, Not being too humble, but
Yes.
not being too, what do you say,
Ar-
attitudinal.
Yes.
The balance, perfect balance is required. Dress smartly again. I think the dress is very important. We always used to, some people come overdressed. That is also goes against you. So
Overdressed like, sir?
natural style is important.
Overdressed, overdressed means in what sense, sir?
I'll tell you an example. We were recruiting for subordinate staff, that is
Hmm.
peons and sweepers.
Okay.
And then these ladies come with huge silk saris and gold ornaments and all. It doesn't gel, ये झाड़ू मारने के लिए ये क्या सब तैयारी करके आया है. So,
Okay.
so it sends the wrong signals. And many times, some of us, even me, we are not used to wearing this suit and tie and all that.
Yes, sir.
If you try to do that, please practice. 10
Hmm.
दिन पहले से रोज सूट टाई पहन के थोड़ा आदत बनाओ.
Yes,
नहीं
sir.
तो मत पहनो, है ना. You should be in your own self.
Yes, sir.
You should not look as if you are uncomfortable wearing that stuff. That is the thing.
Sir, one thing you said that one student must have its own opinion, like the various
Hmm.
issues like the poverty and all thing. But many a time when we are interviewing or giving the mock interviews and discussing with the students, so many a time we have seen or many a time we have heard that we have to take a neutral kind of approach in the
Hmm.
government organization, the reputed government organization. So, what will you say? So, how to express our own opinion? Because what we can say, if it is not going in one direction in the neutral approach, how to answer that thing?
Very, very tough question, especially in the current times. Being anti-establishment
Yes,
is difficult. So that
yes.
is why you will have to maybe stop with diagnosis
Mm.
and not take a radical view.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't know who the interview panel is, no?
Mm.
And the way they will take it. The whole atmosphere has changed in the country. Good old days, I think even left-leaning views were acceptable. Today, they are not so easily acceptable. So don't try and be radical, but still, I think you have to come to grips. Unemployment, for example, is a serious problem in India.
Yes.
Farmer distress is a serious problem in India. So we cannot hide those facts. But trying to be critical of a political party or a particular kind of viewpoint may not carry well with the panel.
I think we should not be very much critical about the others' opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there is one
It's
more
it's
question.
complicated. It's not easy. If particularly you are having a radical thinking, you have to be careful. That will be some 10% of people. We actually love to have diversity in thought. As an
Hmm.
organization, we don't want yes men. We
Hmm.
want people who will challenge and say, no, there's a better way. Otherwise, क्या है जो चल रहा है उसी को चलाते
चलता
रहोगे.
रहेगा. Hmm.
Organizations will stagnate. It
Hmm.
needs continuous freshness of thought. बट एट द सेम टाइम इसको संभालना मुश्किल है. ये लड़का ऐसे लग रहा है कि इज टू रेडिकल और ही इज टू इंडिपेंडेंट. देन वी काइंड ऑफ से अच्छा लेट अस गिव हिम अ पास. दैट इज हाउ इट इज.
Yes. And so one more type of query related to the interview, that the students are generally having the gap of 2 to 3 year or maybe the 4 to 5 year after their graduation. They were preparing maybe for the UPSC, for the other competitive examination, even for the RBI, NABARD, and in the second or third attempt they are just getting this interview stage. So how to answer or how to justify that gap period?
Uh, in our generation, you
Hmm.
used to join in a job and then retire from it. So a gap in service was seen as something bad.
Hmm.
Now it is not. Sabbatical is common. Taking a break is common. So it
Hmm.
is no longer considered a taboo to have a break. And if you see within NABARD itself, those who have been selected, quite a few would have tried, UPSC, this, that, and then joined NABARD. So uh, it's nothing. I don't know if we should ask in the last batches. If you had asked,
Hmm.
was
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
a question that was repeatedly asked, or was it? So typically in the biodata that we will have,
Hmm.
it will clearly show that there is a break. So we may
Yes.
just ask, what were you doing?
Yes.
And if he says, I was preparing for UPSC, we stop at that. Don't try to tease the fellow saying, why did you do it
Yes.
or what did you do it? So we generally understand the break in service. It is nowadays not taken as a negative factor. Only matter of caution is ये इंटरव्यू पैनल वाले ये सब रिटायर्ड लोगों को बिठाते हैं. So those fellows are also outdated in their thinking. So you should know who these guys are and then maybe be a little
Hmm.
careful. But as a general practice today, almost anybody who joins and retires in the same organization stagnates. So
Yes.
promotion भी नहीं देते. Unless you are shifting careers, you don't grow.
Hmm.
Or
Yes,
we
sir.
take it as an advantage if people take break and then come back into their careers.
So what about the NABARD job, starting from the grade A, then grade B? Because many of the agriculture students, so although we will take the questions one by one, various agriculture graduates, have asked this question, okay, how is this job? And specifically for the agriculture graduates who are pursuing their graduation in agriculture or allied education. So what is about the salary
It,
and the job
it
profile and the working pressure?
I think for the agri graduates, it is a perfect fit.
Hmm.
NABARD fits them. Even the DMD, one DMD now is an agri graduate, I think. The other is an economist or something like that. So the previous chairman was also an agri,
Yes.
MSc agri.
Yes, sir.
So that way, the work we do has a lot of connection with agriculture, and therefore you will find a perfect match with that. The career alternatives for agri graduates are many,
Yes, sir.
right from seed companies to fertilizer to any banking services to government jobs. You can do anything under the sun. This is one option. And in terms of pay and perks, again, I'm not current on the exact. That would have been in the advertisement itself. They would have given the scale of pay and other things. It is the best in the industry.
Industry, yes. It
So it
is, sir.
is benchmarked with the highest in the banking sector. So
Yes, sir.
you will get nothing. So it's a very good package with no regrets. Lots of perks. Every station has quarters,
What is, yes.
accommodation. You get allowance for maintaining a car. Many things are there, and you will have a very good life, as good as a civil servant in terms
Yes,
of
sir.
the facilities, except maybe the chaparasi won't be there, but otherwise everything else is there.
Yes. And so many students are asking about the work pressure in the NABARD. So is it good to say that there is a work-life imbalance is there or the pressure is there or what?
It again depends on the individual,
Yes, sir.
right? The ability to work smartly
Hmm.
is the key factor. So ये जो again हमारे या हमारे पहले वाला generation, they used to spend lot of hours in the office,
Hmm.
and till the boss leaves, nobody else should leave. That used to
Yes.
be the rule.
Hmm.
That is all history. It may be there. It is again individual bosses may be different, but if you organize your work well, NABARD is the coolest job in the country. So State Bank, if you compare
Yes, sir.
work pressure, you also know commercial banks से compare किया तो there is no direct customer interface over here.
Yes.
There is no issue of recoveries. Uh,
No targets directly in the
Targets are
amount.
very much there. Targets are there around different programs, projects. There are targets, but these are not retail kind of targets.
Yes, yes. So that is what I'm thinking
So this
quantity wise.
retail
Like, yes.
target, उसका renewal of documents,
Yes.
ये सब करने का problem नहीं होगा. Having said that, it is still the staff strength has shrunk over a period of time
Hmm.
because of increasing technology,
Hmm.
redundancy of clerical typist stenographers. So these cadres have completely, I think, been abolished over course of time.
Hmm.
So the officers have a lot more. That is the advantage. You will be directly uh, doing independent work,
Yes.
not reporting or doing something for somebody. So
Yes.
you will do a lot of work on your own, which otherwise in other organizations maybe you will not get an opportunity to do. Again, like any other organization, depending on how uh, smart employee or an officer is, they are assigned roles.
Hmm.
So a person who's a willing worker who loves his work may be given more challenging roles.
Challenging.
Some who by nature are the complaining types, they will be posted in some less glamorous postings.
Audit type jobs.
They will be posted in less glamorous posting. We can't afford to send anyone home in the public
Yes.
sector, but there's always disgruntled elements everywhere. Uh,
And sir, there is a field exposure also in the NABARD, especially in the DDM position. So, what do you think? This is a really exciting part of the job. or what?
Yeah, yeah, DDM is the time when you actually get to work in the field,
In,
uh, because otherwise you are confined to head office and regional offices. And even there, your role is mostly working with the government agencies and with the other banking institutions. So it gives you an all-round personality
mm,
and ability to have an appreciation of the ground realities. There are many programs that NABARD itself implements, grant programs and other kinds of things. So you will also be a important person in the district while
yes.
you are there. Uh, Again, it's a matter of person's orientation and interest in working in the field, because NABARD basically is not a field organization. So not everyone may get excited about it. It is more or less a prerequisite for promotion.
Yes.
So you will have to do that 5 or 6 years as a district officer before you get to your next level of promotion. So that is a normal thing. By now, these positions have been well defined. Roles have been well defined. So it is not difficult to do. Most people will enjoy it. A few
So
may not.
whatever I have seen, and I also felt that thing during my when I was working with the Union Bank of India. So when we were going for the BLBC or sometime the DLTC meetings, so generally they are, headed by the DDMs, and even the district magistrate are also present in the meetings, but those meetings are headed by specifically by the DDMs, and they are asking, everyone is from the line departments to the bankings to the everyone, what they are,
Hmm.
insurance company, what you are doing, everyone is reporting to him, even not to the DM.
Hmm.
So I feel very
Ye-
charming that thing.
Oh, good. Yeah. So it all depends. Ultimately, what they say is like he is the band master.
Yes.
So he doesn't play any instrument, but he
Yeah.
controls everybody.
Yes.
Uh, so that is a fun role, but ultimately, I think people who actually do the work also have to be valued.
Yes.
Mm.
And sir, is there any kind of foreign exposure, or how frequent the foreign exposure is there in the NABARD?
I am not current on that. It used to
Mm,
be there quite a lot in the good old days.
mm,
Uh, right now, I am not sure. May not be too much uh,
yes.
because there were some funding, some grants and programs. So under those, people used to go abroad. As I can see, it seems to have come down over a period of time.
Uh, I recently saw that thing in the website of the NABARD, that the presence of NABARD in the COP28, again, that is
Hmm.
held in the Dubai, the Conference of Parties related to the climate change, because a developmental mandate of NABARD. So I think that kind of things, but again, that are very rare kind of events.
Some chairman and
Yes,
some
chairman was there.
senior people may go.
Hmm.
Down the line, those opportunities may be limited.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
Sometimes visits are arranged. Somebody goes to China or somewhere. The different programs they attend, Apraka, those kind of thing. Not a great deal, as much as I can see. If your if your interest is foreign travel, then you should look somewhere else, not NABARD.
I think IFSCA then.
uh,
So, sir, I have many questions from the students, so I will take few of those questions because
sure.
although we have covered various things, so many students have asked. Although, like Akshada asked, she's in MSc, and she said how to prepare for the NABARD and how to prepare specifically for the GA portion. And many of the other students also have the similar kind of thing. So. One thing what I want to ask you from sir, like now there are two phase. one phase for the very first phase, which is qualifying, is having 8 subjects, and the second
Hmm.
phase is having a 3 subject but the descriptive approach, and then is the interview. So sir,
Hmm.
how to remain motivated during the whole process?
Hmm. Hmm. So, the Indian job market is very competitive,
Yes.
and the kind of job that NABARD offers, very few organizations offer. You know, it may not be of everyone's interest, but if you make it to that 100 or 150, your life is made, right? So it is something equivalent to civil services. The kind of determination that you need to have that you want to make it to the top, that will be the drive. So, and most of you will be simultaneously preparing for multiple exams.
Multiple exams, yes.
So this is a whole story. Just like they say, civil services, some 1% of the fellows who prepare
Hmm.
actually make it, and they waste 5 years of their life. The rest
Yes.
95 people. Similar is the case here, but you are just preparing for one more of these exams. You have to be, there should be some reason why NABARD interests you more than other organizations. Only then I think that energy will remain.
Yes.
Uh, Lots of people, since I was part of the personnel department also, from applications to screening to conducting prelim exams and all that. A lot of people just ऐसे ही fill करके आ जाते हैं without any preparation. So the number of people who really work hard, sincerely prepared is a small number.
Yes.
Even among these selected people, whatever, I don't know what is the ratio in which they're calling.
1:3 ratio is now
So
presently.
out of 450, around 150 will
150
be
will be selected. Yes.
will be ऐसे वैसे बिना पढ़ाई किए पहुंच जाने वाला types. So really your competition is with the rest of the people.
Yes.
So it's more about you shining,
Hmm.
you being so good in the interview that the person in the interview board will say, I want this person in my department after they're recruited. So that kind of the ability to present yourself as the best candidate to be selected, that is important. And that is self-driven.
Yes. That is, like the teaching of Gautam Buddha, Apodhya Bhava.
Hmm,
Take your
hmm.
own light to enlighten yourself.
Correct, correct.
So, sir, there are similar question from the Amit Mehta Deepika, but one interesting question from the Jayant Chaturvedi. Sir, he asked, he is presenting the BTech, how NABARD is better than other regulators like RBI.
Okay, so good question. First of all, let me clarify.
Hmm.
There are development finance institutions.
Hmm.
So there is NABARD, there is SIDBI, National Housing Bank. These are all called development finance institutions. And then there are regulators. Regulators are SEBI, RBI, IRDA. These are all the policemen
Hmm.
regulating various sectors. So NABARD is not a regulator. It is a development
Developmental
institution.
finance.
So these are quite different. Reserve Bank is also a central bank.
Yes,
So a central bank is something which every country has,
has.
which is a banker to the people, a banker to the government,
Meant.
a person that maintains the currency
Hmm.
circulation and other things. There are several roles which are unique to Reserve Bank of India.
Yes.
So it has to exist. Relatively, NABARD and all वो development कर रहा या ना रहा चलता रहे दुनिया. India will run. So these are two completely different roles that we have. We should not confuse a regulator to a development institute.
Developmental bank. Yes, the similar question was asked by the Sumit also, that is it comparable to RBI? So I think you have already.
From a simple answer, I'll tell you. If you get a offer from RBI, go to RBI.
Yes.
So between the two, your preference should be to join RBI. That is all. Other things, let us not talk about, because the roles and responsibilities are quite different.
So one student have also asked this question. He is presently pursuing MBA in the rural management.
Hmm.
I don't know from where. So I think his name is Abhishek Guglani, and he asked that it is being said that we give back to society through NABARD. What exactly is the job profile of NABARD officer, and how exactly do we give back to the society?
This is a more political statement. I don't think.
How
First,
is,
first take care of myself. See, the job, when you work in agriculture and rural credit, automatically you're working for a segment which is underserved, which is priority.
hmm,
So automatically that comes. But out of the way you are doing something, I don't think that बोलने के लिए है वो.
yes,
You
I
are
think so.
taking care
Giving back to
of your career, that is all. Uh, if you diligently do your work, you will give
hmm,
back,
back to
and
this.
which is a rare thing again. So when you get roles and responsibilities within the organization, do you have the end beneficiary or the people in mind? Or do you work like a bureaucrat? Most people, after some time, become babus only in
Yes,
these organizations. So, if you can feel the pulse of the people, care for their interests, and have that in mind throughout your work, then you will be doing something beyond just taking this as a another routine job.
yes. One more student, sir, Rohan asked this question. He is CA and he asked the finance stream transfer option. So,
Hmm.
if a student joined as a officer in the NABARD in the finance stream, so is there any other transfer options in the organization? And is there a kind of switch available from the finance to the journalist post or to the any other
Uh,
post?
now, again, good question. Uh, because of the size of the organization, the size of the balance sheet, and the nature of work, this is a very specialized function.
Hmm.
That is why they are recruiting people like you.
Hmm.
Good old days, we all BCom wallas used to run the finance department, but
Yes.
the rules are tough. The balance sheet is enormous. We need professional accountants. So therefore, since you're recruited for that function, most of the time you will be in that functional role only. At some point, as you go higher in the hierarchy, there may be opportunities to diversify into other departments,
Hmm.
but those will be limited, and that's the reason why you're recruited for the finance department. And transfers may be limited, but there is no exclusion. The organization requirement necessitates that you are not transferred, they may not transfer. So most of the time you'll be in Bombay. But as a matter of policy, you can be transferred anywhere in the country.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, similar question was also asked by the other students also. One more question, sir, which I want to take from the list. One student asked, he's doing graduation in the BSc Biotechnology. So he asked that how can I justify my educational background, that is BSc Biotechnology with the NABARD?
Hmm. Okay. So yeah, uh, most of the time we work in something that may not exactly relate to what we do, what we studied,
Hmm.
but a large amount of work that we do is related to agriculture and other things. So there is relevance. If you want to say that you want to be a scientist or something, it is not there.
Hmm.
But biotechnology as a discipline has great relevance to what NABARD does. There's no doubt. There are quite a few in the past batches also who have taken this. It is and doing well. So food
Hmm.
processing, or let us say all these high-tech agriculture, all these involve a certain element of biotechnology. And per se, biotechnology as such may not have great careers for absorbing every one of you. So you
Yes.
should decide, you want to be a pure scientist in your own field,
Or
or
the
you want
applied.
to do something where your biotechnology will also add to your analytical skills. So
Yes.
you will see the world in a different way from an accountant. And that is what helps us to make better decisions. Uh, So ये biotechnology को भूल के you become a generalist and you
Generally.
will do well in life. Biotechnology will also be useful in course of time, at least to teach your children some physics and biology for their exams. Yeah.
Okay. So, sir, the similar questions other students have asked related to the preparation, I think we have already discussed and talked in the length. So, now, I think this is sufficient to have the understanding about the NABARD and why to prepare and what should be the motivation. And I think you have already uh, make it very clear to the students, like this is the best organization to work with. So again, sir, thank you
So
so much. And yes, sir.
let me in closing say a few words that
Yes, sir.
recently also I went to NABARD and some of the senior officers were saying that the quality of people joining NABARD,
Hmm.
the grade A is outstanding.
Okay.
So it is really good to know that very high caliber people are being selected in NABARD through this whole competitive process.
Hmm.
So you are having won a great competition. If you are one of those 450, it's not going
Yes,
to
sir.
be easy to get in there. But at the same time, already there is so much positive feeling towards the next generation. Second is NABARD is recruiting almost every year or alternate year. So promotion prospects of the organization are extremely good.
Hmm.
So that is another thing that you should remember, that your career growth within the organization is also somewhat nicely defined, and you will do well. And once you join, it is like a caring organization. So it takes
Yes.
good care of its employees, and you will have a work culture that's very positive. So, although we talked about long work hours and all that, abusive bosses, uh, these are never encouraged. And the average age of senior officers is also low,
Hmm.
or highly motivated people. And you will love working with NABARD. I just wish you all the best, encourage all of you to prepare well, and may the best of the cream join NABARD.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for your these great insights related to this particular job. Thank you, sir, for this session.
My pleasure. Thank you.